After Lloyd and Javier realize they are dealing with a collective headache, they notice that they are not the only ones affected. A maid at the manor, a farmer in the village, and even animals such as cows are suffering from the same symptoms and refusing to drink water. Lloyd immediately realizes that the source of the problem is the contaminated water. His knowledge from the novel is a powerful weapon, but the incident with the ants reminded him that unforeseen events can also occur. Anticipating that Viscount Lacona will retaliate after losing his lands, Lloyd does some research. He discovers that the Viscount's main source of income is his secret dyeing technology, which uses a special berry. More importantly, he learns that these berries are extremely toxic. With a cold fury, Lloyd realizes that the Viscount is dumping his toxic waste into the river, poisoning everyone. At the manor, the Viscount's son, the scarred knight Lloyd has already humiliated, is blackmailing Baron Frontera. He demands half of the reclaimed land, or they will continue to dump their toxic waste into the river. When the Baron accuses him of blackmail, the knight admits with a haughty smile. He knows that even if the Baron could win a lawsuit at the royal court, it would take at least 2 years, during which time the Frontera estate would be destroyed by the lack of drinking water. As the knight walks away, smug, the Baron seethes with anger, vowing not to give up an inch of the land his men have worked so hard to secure. Just then, Lloyd enters the room, slamming the door in the face of the departing knight. He calmly tells his father, "It seems our parasitic neighbors have been interfering with our river water. I would like to discuss countermeasures." The knight, hearing the insult, turns angrily and challenges Lloyd to a new duel. This time, however, Lloyd has no time to waste. In one move, he disarms the knight and begins to repeatedly hit him with the side of the shovel, much to everyone's shock. After leaving him crying on the ground, Lloyd gets up and says, "That was because you insulted me." Then, with an even more furious expression, he hits him again, this time for treating the Baron with disrespect. The Baron, seeing someone defend his honor for the first time, bursts into a fit of joyous laughter. Back in his Viscounty, the knight, his face swollen, is scolded by his father, the Viscount, for letting himself be beaten. But the Viscount, with diabolical cunning, realizes that this incident is actually to their advantage. Now, they can frame a case of assault by a thoughtless aristocrat, prolonging the legal process for another 3 or 4 years. What they don't know is that this is exactly what Lloyd wants too. With an equally evil smile, he perfectly anticipates their strategy. "But we, the Frontera barony, would never do something so wasteful," he shouts, addressing the assembled crowd of orcs and humans. In a fiery speech, he mobilizes them, declaring that they will protect their land from the greed of their enemies by their own means. The first step in his plan is to solve the water problem. He designs a massive reservoir, which Hamong fills with clean water brought from a point before pollution. Although it is a temporary solution that requires constant effort, it is a start. Then he reveals his long-term plan. They will build a system of aqueducts to bring water directly from Lake Kapua, located in the Eastern Mountains. Even though it is a colossal and expensive project, Lloyd knows that he will make a huge profit from the construction fee. Several months later, Viscount Lacona is at his wit's end. His plans have failed. As he is reeling, his butler informs him that Lloyd Frontera has requested an audience, saying he is going to help him with his problems. Although he initially refuses, the Viscount, intrigued, agrees to see him. Lloyd enters the drawing room with an arrogant attitude, sprawls on the sofa, and tells the Viscount that he has come to help him. The Viscount denies having any problems, but Lloyd, with a sly smile, whispers to him, "Who knows? Maybe I could save your collapsing paint shop." The Viscount freezes. "So I knew. You were behind it all," he shouts. With a triumphant smile, Lloyd, who turns out to be the true master of blackmail, confirms the Viscount's suspicions. The chapter ends with Lloyd in total control of the situation, ready to economically destroy his rival, having anticipated and countered his every move.